Facebook over here, and hey, Instagram. I've got Instagram over here. So iPad and iPhone, and I'm going to try to keep it straight. I have not done this before, but I thought it might be fun to give it a try, so this way I can include everybody in my little live broadcast. So we'll give everyone a second. We'll see if anyone pops in and joins me here. It is Friday. Hope everyone's having an awesome Friday. I'm having an awesome Friday because I took the day off work, so so that's awesome. Actually really looking forward to spending the day working on a new painting, which is very exciting. The Blue Coat gin painting in the background is done and ready to come off my board and go to the photographer. And hey, Michelle, how's it going? I haven't seen you in forever. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. Yep, so I'm getting ready to start on a new painting today that I'm very excited about. So anyway, since it's Friday, I thought it would be fun to flashback again, this time to something a little lighthearted. I wanted to show you guys a piece that I did back in art school. Hi, love. How are you? I'm going to be dating myself a bit here, aging myself, but this was something I did back when I was about a sophomore in art school, which was all the way back in 1999, 2000, somewhere around there. And if you don't know, I went to a small private art school in Philadelphia called Hushin School of Art, and I studied graphic design and advertising there. But we also took illustration classes and fine art classes and things like that. So I was in an illustration class, and we were given an assignment to create an illustration for a poster that would advertise the Philly Flash bus tour. And that's sort of like a hop-on, hop-off bus. I don't even know if it's still around, but it was a hop-on, hop-off bus type of a thing. Drove around the city by a pass, and you could get on and off at all the different tourist sites in the city. So the teacher had told us that we could go if we're on a field trip for the day and go get a pass, get on the bus, and drive around and take reference photos of the different sites to use for our illustrations. So I came across this assignment in my old portfolio case, and there's a funny story behind it, so that's why I wanted to share this. So this is, see if you guys can see it. This is my initial marker sketch. I don't know if you can see it, but this was the, original sort of idea that I had done, and then it became a final marker sketch. This is still a marker sketch. It wasn't anything like that we completed to a full illustration, but I just think it's backwards because of the mirror image on the cameras. But this was the Philly Flash bus logo, and there's the little purple bus. And I did the different illustrations of the different sites. You've got Independence Hall, the Love Sign, the museum, South Street, and City Hall. So, but the funny part was this story. Funny, it's weird and intriguing, I guess. So I was with a group of about 6 or 7 of us that decided to hang out for the day to go get on this bus and take this tour around the city to take our reference photos. And we're going back to the days when we actually had film in our cameras, right? We didn't have smartphones. We didn't even have digital cameras in 1999. We had actual 35 millimeter cameras with straps around our necks. And we're a bunch of college kids, 19, 20-year-olds in backpacks traipsing through the city. The first stop on this bus tour that we happened to get off at was Rittenhouse Square. Now, Rittenhouse Square, if you're not familiar with Philly, is a pretty ritzy area of the city, right? It's a park, and it's bordered by very expensive brownstones and lots of restaurants and high-end restaurants and shops and things like that. So we're walking through the park, and somebody says, oh, wouldn't it be great if we could get an aerial shot looking down on the park? Like, what if we could get up in one of these buildings and take a photo? So somebody pointed out that the Rittenhouse Hotel was right there, which is also a very famous hotel in the city. It's very well known for celebrities. Celebrities tend to stay there when they're in town. So what do? We walk over to the Rittenhouse Hotel. We waltz in. We don't bother to stop at the front desk. We don't bother to ask if there is such a room on the top floor, like a lobby or a restaurant or something with a window that we can look out and take a picture. We don't do any of that. We just march our butts into an elevator. We piled in and we pushed the top floor button. Now, while we're standing in this elevator going all the way up, one of my classmates said, oh gosh, this hotel gets a lot of celebrities. Wouldn't it be awesome if we ran into someone like, oh, I don't know, Sean Penn maybe. And we're like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. So we don't think anything of it. We get to the top and the doors open up and it's this long old hallway with, doors on either side for rooms. And at the very end of the hallway, we can see a chair and what looks like sunlight. And we're like, oh, maybe this is like a little sitting room or something all the way over there. Let's go. So we head all the way down and we get to it and we realize it's not a sitting room. It's actually a suite. And the door, for some godforsaken reason, was propped open with a chair. We're like, okay. So we pop our heads in, we see this living room suite area, and we're like, no, this is clearly somebody's room. I think there was a number plate or something. We're like, we're not going to go in. Two of the guys that I was with, they were brothers, they decided to go in, and they walked all the way over to the window. They snapped a couple pictures, and we're like, okay, let's go. This isn't right. We got to go. So we turn around, we start heading back down the hallway when all of a sudden this guy steps out from the adjacent room and starts yelling at us. He's like, who do you think you are? What are you doing here? And we're like, huh? What? He's like, do you have any idea whose room that is? And we're like, no, we're just, and we're trying to explain that we're just art students and we're on an assignment and we're just trying to take pictures of the city. We have no idea whose room this is. We don't mean any harm. We're trying to go. He's not having it. He confiscates our film, insists on taking our film. He calls security. We're shaking in our boots, like shaking in our boots, like, oh my God, what did we do? We didn't mean to do anything wrong. Security comes up. And I swear it was like something out of a movie. They were legit security guys in black suits with earpieces. And there was three of them. The one guy standing at the front, the two guys flanking them behind him. And they were boom down the hallway. And we saw them and we're like, oh crap, we're in trouble. So these guys come to us. They, again, interrogate us. Nobody's believing that we are just art students. They end up taking us down to the basement and putting us in a holding room. Well, they tried to figure out what to do with us. They took our IDs and all of that. They came back and they were still interrogating us and they kept saying, do you have any idea whose room that was? You know whose room that was? And we're like, we have no idea whose room that was. I'm sorry, I don't know. And they're like, yes, you do. You knew that Sean Penn's wife was staying on that floor. It wasn't Sean Penn's wife, by the way, but they knew. And we're sitting here thinking, how would you have even thought that we knew that that was what it was? They must have had the elevator bugged. That is the only explanation. Because my friend had said, what if we ran into Sean Penn? And apparently Robin Wright Penn, who he was married to at the time, was staying on that floor, but it was not her room. So I think they had that elevator bugged, which is really kind of creepy. So eventually, we got it out of them when they finally realized that we weren't reporters, we weren't paparazzi, we were just dumb 19-year-old art school students trying to take pictures, and we meant no harm. And they finally said that it was Bruce Willis's room. So Bruce Willis was apparently staying in that room. I think he was in town filming probably Unbreakable at the time. I'm not sure. Oh my God. So we were just like freaking out. They said they wouldn't press charges. They weren't going to call the cops. Don't ever come back again. Like we were trespassing and we were banned from the hotel. So we left. We were dying. We're like, okay, we can't even finish the field trip. We went back to the school and told everybody and it was crazy. But here was the kicker. So of course I tell this story to everybody because it's amusing. Like what? And I had told my best friend, Ange, the story. Now maybe a month had gone by. And she was at a family get-together with her family, and she has an uncle who at the time worked at the Rittenhouse Hotel. I don't remember what he did, but of his own volition, unbeknownst of this story of mine, started telling this story to the family about these weird idiot kids who came into the hotel and broke into Bruce Willis's hotel room, and claims that apparently Bruce Willis was hiding in the bathroom from us. So I don't know how true that is, but the whole story was just weird and wild and certainly memorable. So when I see this, when I came across this in my old portfolio case as I was sort of unpacking my art supplies, I started laughing out loud because this was the project where I accidentally broke into Bruce Willis's bedroom. Hey Liz, thanks for joining. You just caught the tail end of my funny story. You'll have to go back and re-listen to it. But yeah, so my little Philly Flash bus tour art school project turned into scaring Bruce Willis into hiding in a bathroom. Who knew? So and that's my funny Flashback Friday story for the day. Michelle said she was dying in suspense to know whose room it was. So yeah, it's that was fun. I never will forget it. I think I'm probably still banned from going to that hotel 21 years later. So anyway, that's it. That's my story. Hey Cheryl, hi, how's it going? Nice to see you. But yeah, so that's my funny story. Michelle's laughing about Bruce Willis and my art project. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm actually having a lot of fun going through some of my old art projects, so I think I'm going to try to make this more of a regular thing on Thursdays or Fridays to hop on and do a live and share an old piece of art with you guys and maybe some stories too. So I don't know if I can top this one specifically, but I'll try. So anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in and saying hi to me. I really appreciate it. I love you guys, and stay tuned. I'm going to be working on some art today, so I will be sure to share out some progress posts as I go. Okay? All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.